Hey guys, Steven Rock here. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Ultraman Spark Doll Icarus figure. So first thing I think is the best part about this figure is detail. I feel like the detail on this figure is really good. I feel like it's definitely above average because of a lot of noticeable things. I might as well name a few now that I'm going by. First off, I think that, as you can see, they implemented these kind of like line things across the body around the legs here that stretch across the whole body, the waist, towards the arm a little bit. I also feel like the details of the hands is really nice because, of course, with kaijus, you don't have hands that look like normal human hands, but I guess the design for this kaiju says otherwise, and I feel like they did a pretty good job making it look like real hands. I think the detail on the hands is really nice. Like I said, across the body, these lines really look like scars in parts of the kaiju. I feel like I don't know if it's really like a furry texture here, because I don't remember seeing this kaiju in any Ultraman episodes, and I'm assuming if I don't remember from the Ultraman original series, he wasn't in there because I've seen the original series. Maybe I'm not having good memory with it, but in general, I feel like the paint job is really nice. The detail is really nice, and I feel like the detail stands out across the figure with these lines, like I pointed out. If this is supposed to be like a furry texture, you can sort of feel like, I'm not saying it's furry, but you can feel like the bumpiness of it, and you can see just through the way they made it look like it is. The detail does make it stand out. And of course around the ears too, with these lines you see here, I feel like they're really well done. It really just makes the figure stand out in terms of detail. Definitely above average. So yeah, let's move on to the next thing. So the next thing I like about this figure is, surprise, surprise, the paint job, obviously, because you know my stance on articulation with Spark Dolls. But in general, I feel like the paint job on this figure really does stand out for a lot of reasons. There's really only two colors, obviously, light blue and black. The black around the neck here, and it's a little bit around the waist, and it's kind of spread across the arms, just a little bit. Mainly it's around the face, mixed in with the light blue. But in general, both colors I feel like were painted beautifully. I feel like the blue especially, of course it being a light blue, very light blue as a matter of fact. I feel like it just makes it stand out in numerous ways. And I really feel like it's very recognizable, and I feel like it just stands out as a very nice blue. And I feel like they painted it with a lot of care, and I feel like they did a good job with it, honestly. I feel like it's just, both colors stand out quite well. There isn't really any paint scuffs, actually. I don't really see any, besides this one I was going to mention earlier, but I'm not even going to count that as a nitpick, because that probably was my own fault, I'm guessing, because, you know, it's not, you know, you shouldn't think that when you buy figures, you can only get paint scuffs from the person you're buying it from. You could end up making a paint scuff as well, so I could have done that, who knows. And of course, I don't remember when I got this figure. It must have been a few years ago, so, I mean, I couldn't remember anyway what the paint job looked like when I got this figure. So, either way, you get the idea that I feel like this figure is quite well done with paint job, and let's move on to the next thing. So another surprise actually, is the articulation. Why? Because I feel like it's average. I'm starting to get used to the fact that articulation on Spark Dolls is an average 3 joints, no more, no less, and I feel like that's what just makes this simply average. No good, it's not bad, and it's not great. And those 3 joints are waist and hands right here. So in general, I feel like now that there's 3 articulation joints, that's you know, you get that on almost every Spark Doll, so I'm getting used to that, as a matter of fact, and I consider that to be just a normal average trait of this figure. So if you're gonna think that articulation is just an average 3 joints, which it kind of is for Spark Dolls, then this would be average, and I feel like it should be counted as a pro, because, you know, unless it's an issue, it shouldn't go into the realm of a con. So with that being said, let's actually go into the cons. So I have 2 main cons about this figure. Both of them are actually quite big cons. I feel like the first one, as a matter of fact, I feel like it's somewhat of an issue, not really. But going back to articulation, you might think, oh, well, if you're going to give articulation an issue, it should go back to being a con. No, because yes, it's 3 joints, and that's average, but the waist here is a little stiff. The reason why, however, I'm not giving articulation in general as a con just for that is because you know, that's not a huge issue, but at least it can move. I mean, if it was a glue seal, then yes, of course I'd give it a con, but at least you can move it to an extent. So I do give that credit for the figure. So in general, the articulation is average, but if you're going to go really into detail of articulation, this sort of is an issue if you get bugged out with you know, stiffness with figures. I certainly do. And of course, the worst it gets is a glue seal, which is even, you know, that's really annoying. And with the other con, that being that this figure has not exactly a issue standing, but in some occasions you do have trouble making it stand. And I guess that could depend on the weight. For instance, if you were to put the hands out, maybe we'd have a better time standing. See? But in general, you do want to have this figure be able to stand on almost all occasions. And I feel like, especially around the back, they gave it too much weight for it to stand with a straight, you know, as straightly. So I do count that as a major con, actually, surprisingly. And in general, I feel like this figure should be rated an 8.6 out of 10. It's no fake K figure. If you like this kaiju and like Ultraman and also are a Spark Doll collector, or Ultraman collector in general, I do recommend you get this figure. It's just a nice figure to add on to your Spark Doll collection. So without further ado, guys, this is what I'd rate this figure. I hope you enjoyed this review. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys later, and bye-bye.